Dr. Wang. You know, it's such an honor to have you, and as I have been with you many times, I've been honored to be on your foundation board and be at events to see that video and to hear other testimonies. It's a miracle. It's a miracle not only when Jesus in the Bible heals and healings happen that way, but it's also that he gives the wisdom and the technology for us to see those kind of miracles happen. Well, just tell us your feelings. I mean, we heard it on the video, but just what happens to you when you see somebody that's been blind and now they see?
You know, Pastor Rice, first I'd like to thank you for the invitation tonight. And I understand this broadcast is going to all over the world and people, including China, so this is so exciting.
Very nice, yes.
Few of us will actually know someone in real life who have been blind for years and decades and can see again. But even fewer of us will actually be there at the moment when the man, by the grace of God, can come to light again. And I just felt that to be there for that moment for my patients, and just that one moment worth years of work and all the nights and evenings and the work in the laboratory, because for just that moment.
Ming, your story is really enthralling. I'm going to take people back. You're a young man in China, and the Chinese government has this horrible law. They basically take education away from a generation of young Chinese. Could you explain that? What was going on in 1967 between that 10-year period when a generation was lost?
Yeah, between 1966 to 1976, China went through a period called Cultural Revolution. Really, it was really cultural holocaust when the dictating government basically deported all the young people from junior high and senior high to poor part of the country for life, for hard labor and for very little pay. And they don't want to keep people with knowledge and education around in the city. And it was very sad. And I caught that in the mid-1970s. I was a teenager. Even though I was doing well in school, I was not allowed to go to senior high school and college, together with 20 million others.
So 20 million young people, basically a whole generation was lost. They just
Yes.
they didn't want them educated, and so you ended up doing your entire high school in about 4 months to be able to get into college. You want to maybe explain how that happened? Because I know a lot of us, that's pretty amazing to do 4 months to finish your whole high school.
When you know that there was going to be your only chance for freedom, for education, for opportunity, for happiness, and you're going to throw everything you have in there. And there was that 4 month at the end of the Cultural Revolution where all the colleges were reopened after 10 years being shut down in China. Everybody, all the young people have been waiting for 10 years, all came back, wants to get into college. And 20 million, they all gone through that, all went through this 4 month of decisive moment in their life. And I think one appreciates so much when you don't have something and when something's presented to you once again.
You tell a story, and I love to hear it, about you memorized one phrase in English, and an American, was it a professor, came to China, and you raised your hand and asked a question in English, and you kept persisting, and you said, I didn't even know what his answer would be, but I just wanted to try to get the attention of the man by saying something in his language. Is there?
Exactly. Because in college, I heard that there was going to be an American professor visiting. And I knew that was my only chance of coming to America for opportunity, for education, for freedom. And so the night before his visit, I pulled out some textbook and studied very hard. Next day, I asked him a question. But then he asked me a question. I must be something, what do you mean? But then I realized I practiced all night how to ask a question. I forgot to practice how to listen to an answer. So I kept on asking the same question. Finally, he figured out I was trying to just merely to impress him. But he answered my question, but I didn't understand what he was saying. But I did ask that question. So before he went off the podium, he goes, that kid, I want to see him in America.
Wow.
So
That
with
kid, I want to see him in America. So you land in America 1982.
Right.
National Airport in D.C. with $50 in your pocket. And
Yes.
then what happens?
Knowing no one in this country except this acquaintance and this professor. And I was enrolled in graduate school to study laser physics to get my doctorate degree. And then I went to study medicine. But all this time, I kept on asking God, what was the purpose of all? Why should I be doing all these studies? When would I one day, how could I use the physics and the medicine in a way that will benefit people, that can help? And eventually, you know how it is that we go through life, sometimes God will put us through tests. Sometimes we may not know the purpose of the journey, but the challenge to us is to have the faith and the confidence that it does have a purpose. We may not know what that is at the time, but He knows. So at the end, after many years, I was in school for 31 years. I'm really 72, I just aged well. But starting freshman college, I went to school for 20 years. And so when I was 37, I finally finished all the schooling with my doctorate degree in physics and medicine. Then gradually, the purpose that God put me through all these years of studying became gradually clearer and clearer. You know, 21st century we're living in today is a century of high-tech technology, of rapid changing of human lives because of technology. And the medicine is evolving and changing. The defining feature of medicine today is the marriage between medicine and high-tech. So without being able to combine the two, you cannot offer the best care to our patients. Now I see why God put me through the physics study and medical study. It's because He wants me to use both sides' knowledges to really combine and produce the best care for our patients.